All right, so we're joined now by Janice Julal, who is the principal of Denbigh High School, and Demoy Lindo, who is a 2018 Outstanding Child Researcher. Evening to both of you, and thank you so much for talking to us.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and it's great to have you both on. Now, Ms. Julal, let me start with you. How long has Denbigh been participating?
We have been participating since 2011, and since 2011, we have sent up probably six persons, between 6 and 8 students since 2011. In 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2016 and 2018, we came away with the top award. So So since 2011, we've really been securing that ultimate award of top Caribbean child researcher.
Okay, so obviously there's something you're doing very, very right in terms of the training, and I hear you, in fact, are the person who works with the students and trains them. So what is it you look out for? What is it you're trying to get out of them?
Well, we do have a team that works, team working with the students. Mr. Everton Anas is also one of our teachers who is a key player. But when we look for students who are not necessarily researchers, but students who have a certain amount of confidence and a certain amount of interest. So once we are able to identify that kind of interest, then we pull them and start working with them to hone their research skills. So one of the things we do at our school, once a student matriculates to sixth form, is that we start with a research kind of seminar to get our students into that frame of mind. And then once they indicate that they have that interest, we pull them and work on identifying that social issue which impacts child rights and move from there.
All right, let me ask you to hold for just a moment. Can we see if we can get Ms. Julal on a better line? We're having a little bit of difficulty hearing you. Let me go to Demoy in the meantime. Demoy, congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us. And Nyoka Manning, the second place researcher with us as well. Congrats to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Demoy, tell me what piqued your interest, what sparked your interest in relation to this particular activity?
Well, it had always been a concern over the years, the level of violence. It has been a personal concern. It's really raging on. So.
Okay, and of course you're in Clarendon, where we know there has been really a lot of trouble. Have you been personally touched by the violence? Anybody you know?
Fortunately, no, I have not personally experienced the violence firsthand, but I have known persons who have faced the after effects.
Okay. Now, your title, An Investigative Study on the Recruiting of Male Teenagers 13 to 17 into Gangs in a Rural Community in Clarendon, Jamaica. That sounds like such a tall order. So, I mean, even if you're interested in crime, why decide to take up this hard topic? Because this sounds difficult.
Well, while I was in primary school, I always had friends who were, the conventional bad boy. And they would always seem to get all the fame and attention. And at some point in time, I even cajoled into joining their standards. But, with proper parenting, I luckily avoided that situation. But sometimes I really sit and said, what if I was to make the wrong choice and to turn out probably right now in prison or even worse, dead?
So how did you go about this research? What you did?
Oh, I chose a community and I distributed questionnaires that with the typical questions that would allow me to garner information on the topic. And I interviewed a police officer as well who had some kind of connection to the community. So he was familiar with the community.
And what did you find?
Well, surprisingly, of all the males who were interviewed, 50% of the males were under 18, may I reiterate, were actually involved in gangs. And to me, that number was surprising because after I chose the topic, I was like, which male under 18 would actually be involved in gang activities? But
okay, so you yourself didn't think your results would have showed that much?
No, miss, I doubted that number.
And what was your reaction then on finding that?
Well, that actually motivated me to really analyze everything else and see what is really happening right now.
What do you think are the reasons? What are the factors you think driving recruitment?
Well, one of the main factors I believe now, which actually wasn't covered in my research, is dancehall music.
Really?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me go to Nyoka, beg your pardon, in the meantime, because again, your topic I found very interesting. You looked at discrimination that females grades 10 to 13 face in technical and vocational education and training subjects. So again, is this coming from somewhere that you yourself had something you yourself had a personal experience with?
Yes, miss. This is coming from personal experience. I was placed in mechanical technology. I was actually interested in mechanical technology because my dad worked in that field. So I was interested in doing mechanical technology. However, while I was in mechanical technology, I was facing discrimination. And due to that, I had reached a breaking point. So I had to be switched to clothing and textile where there were more numbers of females.
Tell me what do you mean by discrimination? What did you experience?
I was shunned by teachers, students. I was classified. I was stereotyped, basically.
Okay. And then you bad enough that you actually dropped out of the class?
Yes.
So tell me how you went about the research now.
So when I first got the opportunity to do the research, this was the first thing that came to my mind. So I took this opportunity to do the research, actually investigating a discrimination that females face by doing TVET subjects. So I selected, my sample was 40 students. I selected them doing the simple random method sampling, and they were placed in 4 groups, and names were placed in 4 bags, and I drew the names from those bags.
And what did you find?
So I found that there were actual students who were discriminated, and they were shunned, and 90% of the students were discriminated. 60% felt that they were placed aside, shunned. And there were significant numbers leading to my topic.
Did it surprise you, the results you got?
Yes, it did surprise me because I didn't actually think that there were so many persons who were affected by this phenomenon.
So when it happened to you then, you kind of thought, boy, this is either something personal, or you hadn't realized there were so many girls out there going through the same thing?
Yes, miss, I thought it was actually personal.
Okay. So do you feel differently now looking back on your own experience based on the research you've done?
Yes, it was satisfying for me because I got to advocate for students and also myself using this platform to actually voice for the students and myself.
So do they, as part of your research project then, do you actually come out with recommendations?
Yes, I did.
What were yours?
Okay, so one of my recommendations was that teachers, they could get female role models to actually place in these areas so that female students don't feel stereotyped doing these subjects, TVET subjects.
Yes, and they have role models to look up to.
Yes, because most of these subjects are taught by male teachers.
Yes. Demoy, what about you? Any recommendations coming out of yours?
Yes, ma'am.
What were they?
Well, my main recommendation was one towards the school body, where I thought it would be best if they put in place methods of mentoring. Well, the school actually has a mentorship program, and that was what inspired me that this was actually a good recommendation.
Okay. Ms. Julal, you were with them? You went with them to Trinidad?
Yes, I did.
So tell me how, I see that Demoy also got the award for Best Oral Presentation. How they did, how you felt while they were up there?
I am still amazed because I can tell you that last year I took Demoy to watch the presentation at Jamaica Conference Center with a view to preparing him for this year.
Okay.
And when we came back, Demoy said, "Miss, I don't think I can do it because he's not a public speaker."
Ah.
So it wasn't, I mean, his research or his decision to be a part of it was really so last minute, but he put in the work. So when we got to Trinidad, to see Demoy actually step up and deliver in such a confident manner was so amazing. I mean, all 3 students did well because we had 3 students in the top 10. And this was their first time heading to Trinidad. I think for Demoy, it was his first plane ride, and that was on his birthday. So, it was a really amazing experience for them. But I couldn't believe that this was Demoy who was standing up in front of people from all over the Caribbean and speaking in such a confident manner. So, all it says to me as an educator is that this is certainly something that we need to get more students involved in, because the level of confidence, the honing of the analytical skills, the benefits are tremendous. So very proud of them, very proud of them.
Demoy, has the experience now done anything has it increased your own self-confidence and your ability to do this again in the future? Demoy?
Oh, yes, miss?
Yes, I was asking you if you think it's given you more self-confidence.
Oh, yes, miss, definitely.
Yeah, you feel that you're good at public speaking now, or you're at least not afraid of it?
I think that now I have more work to put in to actually reach a point where I can consider myself great at public speaking.
And what about you, Nyoka? What has it done for your confidence?
Yes, it has truly boosted my confidence and enhanced my public speaking. And it's something that I would like to continue in the long run.
All right, I'm going to have to leave it there. I'm out of time, but can I thank you all so very much for talking to us. Congrats to you, Ms. Julal, and the school, Denbigh High School, and Demoy Lindo, 2018 Outstanding Child Researcher and Best Oral Presenter, and second place awardee Nyoka Manning. We appreciate you talking to us, all of you. And